thank you, Chris, for just enlightening us with a film that time has forgotten. This episode, we're talking a lot about animals for some reason. You guys get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do I don't think we've done a horror review yet on a particular animal, other than what Chris has done. But for the main portion of the show, I don't think we have, right, Lori? I don't think so, Lori.
No, I don't think so.
We'll have to do something. Anyway, as always, we have HorrO from Promote Horror. Welcome back, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How's everybody else doing tonight?
Hey, great.
Great. Pretty good.
Cool.
You have your audience, man. Let's break it down with a 666 rundown.
Sounds good. All right, so it's a new year, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to ask you guys the question, but I don't want you to answer it right away. I'm going to hold the answers off to the end. It's kind of like a teaser, so those listening, you'll have to wait to the end to see everybody's answer. But I will give you guys the question now, so you have time to think about it and maybe Google if you want. And it's basically, we just ended a decade of horror, so what I want to know is what your favorite horror movies have been over the last decade, 2010 to 2019. So don't answer right now. Think about it, and I'll come back to you guys at the end and just throw out a few names that you really liked. You know, doesn't have to be the blockbuster of the year. Whatever was your favorite is your favorite. So just think about it for a while I go ahead and jump into the 666 horror rundown right now. So we talked a lot about Tremors, and so if you guys want to catch up on Tremors, they have the entire season now on Netflix. So if you want to find out what has been going on before Part 7 eventually lands, you can jump on Netflix and catch that, and definitely find out what's going on with that before the new one. And we were talking about before if any of them had been in theaters or not, but only the first one was the only one in theaters. All the other ones were, I guess, DVD or on VOD release. So we expected the last one, the next one, to be on that as well. Now to more exciting news, and that's with The Evil Dead. A lot of talk because Sam Raimi was interviewed for The Grudge, and I guess people were asking about The Evil Dead. So basically the update there is we could have a lot more Evil Dead, or maybe not so much. So we all know that he's been working with Bruce and a new writer for a new movie that's coming out. We're not really sure which direction it is, how much in connection it is for the other one, because I guess they're still in the middle of writing it. But it looks like we for sure will at least get one more Evil Dead movie. Now, as far as Bruce, we're really not sure about that yet, because as many of you know, he said he retired the character, Ash. So Sam Raimi said he would love to do another movie as him directing. As the one they're working on now, he's not going to direct. He is involved in it, but he's not going to direct it. But he said he would love to direct another one, Bruce, but again, he's not sure because Bruce says he's retired the character, so we'll see. And then as far as the 2013 movie, he also said, hey, if they want to do a sequel to that, he'd be on all board for that. If Mr. Alvarez, who did the 2013 one, would do that one, do the sequel as well. So lots of different directions, lots of different things with the Evil Dead going on. So I'll just have to wait and see what happens there. And if you want to catch up on the Evil Dead and haven't seen it in a while, Evil Dead will be on Netflix, and right now they're also showing Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is the series that was on not too long ago. I only saw season 1. I missed season 2 and 3, so hopefully I get a chance to catch up. But I heard a lot of good things about it, even though it did come to an end. So lots of Evil Dead, so that's exciting news in itself. And to go to a little bit of fun news here, March 29th through the 30th, a limited number of fans will get to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre inside the actual Leatherface house in Texas. Yes, another cool experience that will be happening. And not only do you get to watch the movie, you get to spend the night there. Any of you guys would be brave enough to stay in that house?
I would.
You blast.
Yeah.
Love it.
I wouldn't sleep, but I'd be up.
You're right.
Yeah, well, supposedly the group that's throwing it, they're going to show the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then they said, it's up to the group of people that actually end up there, what they want to do. They maybe show other movies, hang out. They're going to do barbecue because, you stay in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, you have to have barbecue. Hopefully it is regular meat and not human meat. But it will also cost you $475 to do so. So I don't know if any of you, that changed your mind right there. So
Piece of cake.
the money man, we'll send the money man. Chris on location.
Got that covered in a credit card.
Yeah. I got points. You gonna take Marriott points?
You can discuss that with Leatherface and see what happens.
Alright.
Alright, so Mike Flanagan, if you also know from, as many of you know from Dr. Sleep and many other things, he's keeping busy these days. He will be directing now a 7-episode series called Midnight Mass, which is for Netflix. And he's also, I believe it's finishing up, if not already finished. He's also done The Haunting of Bly Manor for Netflix as well. So I know Dr. Sleep went over real well. I didn't see an epic fail there, but I was surprised to see it on some people's top 10 lists. So it must have been really good. But he's definitely hot now because of that and before. So he's working with Netflix, so he's got a couple of things going for you there to watch. Lots of things going on Netflix, and even myself started getting more on Netflix, but I'm still working on that. And some technology I'm good with, and some I'm not. So we're working there. So it's a new year, and I know a lot of people are busy and so forth. But since we've come into the new year, there's been a lot of trailers that have been released. So I just kind of wanted to go through a couple, and even some that will be released probably after this airs, but before our next episode. So I just wanted to make sure that people are aware these trailers are out there and give you a little update on the timing of these things. So in case you missed it, you're still sleeping off the new year and so forth. And I'll start with Joe Hill's Lock and Key, which is, of course, coming to Netflix, as we've been saying, lots of stuff on Netflix. And that trailer will be out, and that'll be premiering on Netflix on February 7th. Camp Cold Brook with Chris's favorite Daniel Harris and Chad Michael Murray. That is going to be a limited release in VOD, and so Chris can spend time with his wife and then Daniel Harris on February 14th.
Yeah, that'll go for real big.
That'll be wonderful. We won't see Chris around that episode. Now to a movie that yes, no, was it going to happen, was it going to not? Well, it is happening. The New Mutants finally released their trailer, and that will be coming out on April 3rd, and they're actually going to show the original version, because there was a lot of talk that they were going to go back and do reshoots and so forth like that, but apparently they're going to show the original version with no reshoots and so forth, so that'll be interesting. Either it's going to go really bad or it'll be good. I really don't know. Chris won't be seeing it because it'll be PG-13, so I guess it's a pass. I don't know really how that affects the movie, but since it's kind of a superhero kind of thing, but still interested. But I'm a little worried when they say they're going to go back, reshoot, and then show the original version, so I don't know what's going on there. Here's a movie that I was surprised that they're going to do a sequel of. I don't know if anybody saw the first one, but it's called The Boy Part 2. That was with, the first one was with Maggie from The Walking Dead, and it was a really weird movie. Anybody see Part 1?
I did. I actually liked it. I saw a lot of people kind of were kind of lukewarm about it. I thought it was actually pretty good. I went in with kind of like tempered expectations, but it was actually a pretty decent movie. I thought. I liked it. I'm a little surprised they're doing a sequel though. I don't really know, unless it's just kind of like a retread of what they already did. Yeah, it's kind of.
it sounds almost like they're giving it another try again. Like, they're gonna rehash it again, and this time it's gonna be Katie Holmes. So all I can wish is that she dies in this movie, because I really don't care for her. But sorry, she won't be a future guest or something like that. But yeah, that's all my hope for that. But the trailer will be out for that. They released the poster already. Another one here, the fairy tale that they keep going over and over and over again with is Gretel and Hansel. That'll be out on January 31st, so they're redoing that again. I guess that's the only fairy tale they seem to want to do over and over. Trailer's out for that, of course. And then the one that I'm most excited about, hopefully everybody else is excited about, is A Quiet Place Part 2. That trailer was really good. If you liked the first one, haven't seen the trailer for that, either don't spoil it and don't watch it, or go watch it immediately. Your choice. But I'm really excited about that one. And of course, that'll be out on March 20th. You guys see the trailer for that? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, okay.
Emily Blunt. You know, it's great. She does. She's not doing typical movies. She's all over the place in all different genres, and she's a believable character. I love it.
Yeah, no, she's great in herself in her own right, but I just love the movie. I just love what they did in the first one. I love movies when they're silent. It just adds another creepiness, and what they showed in the trailer is just excellent, and really got me excited. I almost didn't watch it, but now I'm really excited I did, and I'm so ready for the movie. So we talked about, I gave you some dates for those, so I'll just give you, just jump right to marking your calendars off some DVD and Blu-ray releases. January 14th, you have The Mummy's Shroud coming on Blu-ray, and Demons of the Mind and Creep. On the 21st, this is going to be a big one, January 21st, because you have Zombieland, Countdown, and The Addams Family. So if you missed any of those movies in October, you can catch that then. And on the 28th, from Arrow Video, is The Edge of the Axe. And we have Body Parts and Slumber Party Massacre, which sounds like a lot of fun. The only movie I haven't mentioned in January that's coming out in theaters that I haven't mentioned yet is The Turning, which will be out on the 24th. And then I'll just throw out my recommendations. A Serial Killer's Guide to Life and In the Tall Grass, which is on Netflix. That was my experiment. I watched that on Netflix. Those are my two recommendations for this episode. So if you haven't seen those, you can check those out. And now, back to the original question. What were some of your favorite horror movies of the last decade? Anybody can go first. And I will go last.
I'll go first. I will go first. I've got about 7 I drew on. First of all, both Resident Evil ones, The Final Chapter and Retribution. I am the biggest fan of Resident Evil. Both Underworld movies of this decade, Awakenings and Blood Wars. And also Blood Rain, The Third Reich, came out in 2011. I think we could all agree that might be one of the best movies ever made. And also a made-for-sci-fi TV movie called Camel Spiders with C. Thomas Howell and John Mack. Terrific movie. They need to make more movies just like that. And the only one really from the latter part of the decade is Harrison Smith's Death House. It's a all-star film as far as who's in it, but despite that, it's not a variety show. It's actually a deep, very thoughtful horror film about the essence of evil and our voyage into it or out of it, whatever, but very deep movie. That's my list.
Nice. Anybody next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'm just going to give you a quick top 5. Train to Busan, which I believe is one of the best zombie movies made in the past 10 years. No knock on any other zombie movies, but love that. Fast-paced, awesome. Bone Tomahawk, of course. It really needs no explanation if you haven't seen it. It's one of the best horror-infused westerns I've ever seen. I don't even know of any other horror-infused westerns. The Crazies remake with Timothy Olyphant.
Nice.
Excellent. Just such a great movie. And I mean, I'm usually not a fan of remakes, but that one ticked all the boxes for me. Sinister, obviously, just one of the newer horror movies that just was in the last 10 years. I really loved, we talk a lot about how we love a lot of 80s horror, 90s horror, and things like that, but there's been a lot of really good horror that's come out in the last 10 years. And probably Split, I think. I don't know if you would call that horror. I think it's horrific. Definitely M. Night Shyamalan at his best there, and James McAvoy is excellent. And probably Get Out. I really enjoyed that one. There's so many, but that would be my top 5.
Go ahead, Kacy. You go first.
Okay. Let's see, the past decade, I really liked The Witch. I've seen The Witch like 3 times now because I have some sort of strange pull to that movie. I have no idea what it is. And I was just a big Black Phillip fan. So I like The Witch. I also like The Babadook. And Sinister as well. I liked Let Me In, although Let the Right One In was probably better. But the Let Me In version was good. Gosh, if I don't know, is Pan's Labyrinth considered horror?
Yeah.
Or fantasy, I'd say.
Or fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
fantasy first, but horror, yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. It was fantastic.
Well,
But,
I was really thinking about it. We've all become desensitized to so many movies, and actually, I only picked a couple, but one of them was a few of them was some that we had on our show. I really liked Hell House LLC. I thought that was really, the first one really terrified me, and at points, and I hadn't been scared like that in a while while watching the film. But Hell House LLC, definitely loved that. Go back and listen to that episode. Also, let's see, what was the other one I was thinking? Dang, I had the other one. I didn't write it down. Shit. Oh, yeah. I really liked it. I was thinking about the movie, and when I started thinking, my mind is all over the place. But yeah, definitely go back. Hell House LLC was one of my favorites. And it's a bummer. I can't think of the other one that I really liked a lot. You know what? No, I know what it was. I'm sorry. Stranger Things. I freaking love Stranger Things. I think it's like it started a trend. And all these new movies coming out where you're getting flashbacks to like the 80s and stuff, and the time period where I grew up, the acting, the kids, it was great. Unfortunately, it's getting oversaturated now, but with all these different movies and I don't know. But Stranger Things, hands down, one of the best things that was on TV so far. With I think the 3rd season now or whatnot. But yeah, those are my two choices.
Cool. Well, I'm not going to disagree with anything anybody said because it's your list, but I'm really happy with some of the names that you guys listed. So I'm still proud to be part of this group because you guys nailed it. I'll throw out some. I made a good list here just in case because I didn't want to repeat too many since I let you guys go first. But Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Let Me In or Let the Right One In. But I love both of them. I mean, either one of them is good with me. I put The Conjuring there only because it really has an effect and opened up a universe of movies.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are iffy here and there, and you can say what you want about this movie, that movie, whatever, but it really opened up a universe of horror, so I think it's worth mentioning. Movie I really loved was Raw, and it came out in 2016. Haven't seen it, watch that one. I think kind of like The Conjuring, I had to throw in it, both either the first one or the second one, just because there was just so much hype around it. You can't not mention that in the decade because there's just so much talk about it. And going to what Ken said with the 80s, that goes right in with that. A movie called Mayhem, who had Glenn from The Walking Dead. He was in it. Steven Yeun, Quiet Place. I really love that movie, as I said earlier. One Cut of the Dead is another zombie movie. I haven't seen The Train to Busan, so I can't echo Lori's, but everybody says it's great. This is another zombie movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a very different kind of zombie movie, but please see it. Excellent movie. Another comedy, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
And I also agree with Sinister. I really loved that one. And those are mine. But of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I just wanted to know what your guys was. And listeners out there, please let us know what you thought of our choices, and please let us know your choices. And with that, I am done with the 666 Horror Rundown.
Well, it's a great way to open up 2020. Great show, as always. Want to thank Josh Lobo and I Trap the Devil. Great film. Rottweiler from Chris, and then the HorrO 666 Rundown. Just a lot to think about, a lot to digest. We love what we do here, as always. Reach out to us on social media. You can follow us all on Twitter. Just, follow the page where the scary things are. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I do want to start out with a quick shout out. I do record the audio in a studio here in Manala. It's not technically Manalapan. Where am I at? Marlboro. Thank you. Marlboro. Studio to
Someone locate Ken.
The big argument is is it English Town? Is it Marlboro? Is it Manalapan? Anyway, I'm in New Jersey somewhere, and there's probably sewage leaking into the river. I'm just kidding. But anyway, my shout out is to the guys here at Studio to Stage Productions. They really treat me well and the show well. They love the show. They put me in this beautiful high-tech studio, and I'm able to get all the audio together and do a nice recording. And just thank you to you guys, Chris, Kacy, HorrO, and Muse. I love you guys so much. I missed you guys. Oh, it took a whole year, But, it's something that we really like doing. We have, for the first time, I really got all this quiet time. I wasn't just taking a break. I was able to book all of January, a little bit of February. I cannot wait to get these guests in the show and the movies we're going to do. One of them, HorrO mentioned earlier, and cross my fingers on that one. I'm not going to say it, but it was a Netflix movie, and it's getting a lot of buzz, and we get one of the main actors there. But anyway, definitely follow us, and that's it for me. Go ahead and go around the horn. Chris, go first.
Yeah, I got one. I had the pleasure of reading a book which is coming out on Valentine's Day by Ezekiel Kincaid. We've mentioned him before, but I started a neat relationship with him. I read his book. I'm going to push out a review on it soon. But if you're an Evil Dead fan, or if you like that Billy Joe Briggs, whatever that guy's name is, not on TNT anymore, on Shudder, you're going to like... Yes, Joe Bob. You're going to love this Ezekiel Kincaid epic tome called The Adventures of Johnny Walker Ranger, Demon Slayer. It is fabulous, and on Valentine's Day, you should be able to read it.
Kacy, what do you got?
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't really have any shout-outs, but I just wanted to let everyone know that you can email any of us with any questions or any requests. I know you guys want to ask Chris questions about Rottweiler, because we all kind of do. But you can contact him on CJZZ at Where the Scary Things Are. HorrO is HorrO at, Ken at, Muse at, and Kacy, Kacy at wherethescarythingsaре.com. Thanks.
Kacy, just so you know, I still spell your name with an E in it.
No, that's incorrect.
I'm never going to change it. All right, Muse, what do you got?
Okay, I don't really have any shout-outs either. I've been, pretty sporadic on Twitter lately. I haven't been on as much. I've been taking kind of like little breaks here and there of the holidays and everything. Everything's starting to get back to normal now, but I haven't really been on much, so I don't really have a whole lot of shout-outs. Just want to say Happy New Year, everybody out there. Thanks for listening. We love all you guys. I've missed you guys. I know I'm not going to get all mushy. I'm kind of mushy, as you guys can kind of tell. But I've missed you guys, and I'm just glad to be back, and I just hope that everybody has a great year. And I wanted to say, yes, on Ezekiel Kincaid's book, I'm reading it currently. We've talked about it, and I'm excited about it being released on Valentine's Day, and he's an awesome guy, and it's just a great book. So when you get a chance, give it a read. It's excellent.
And to wrap it up, HorrO, what do you got?
All right, no one's specific tonight, but I just want to give a shout-out, of course, to the horror community, especially those who have let me have the pleasure of watching their short films. We've done a lot of great ones recently. If you don't know Sunday Scares, I always put a short film out on the site. and they are terrific, and I've been sent some really good ones lately. I put some ones I saw at the festival lately. Check it out. It's wonderful. You filmmakers are awesome, and I look forward to seeing what you guys send me in 2020. So shout out to the horror community. Shout out to you guys. I put on Twitter, one of the best things I did in 2019 was join the podcast. Excellent idea. I love you guys. It's great to be back. And Promote Horror, we'll be doing some announcements soon and some changes. So look forward to that too. And we love you, horror community.
Amen to that. All right, our friends, keep it scary. We'll catch you on the next show.